The coke up students' noses was sold by frat broses. Penn State fraternity brothers were just busted for allegedly running a massive cocaine trafficking ring. Even more shocking, these two were the alleged kingpins. They don't look like cocaine kingpins. They look like cocaine buyers. And they weren't small-time dealers by any means. Prosecutors called the ring an upper-level operation supplying the whole region. Dealers moved kilos of coke from New York and then sold to students, with one making over 50 grand. Way more money than Gutfeld employees make in a year. Some brothers even had pledges cut and bag coke to get initiated into the frat. And they all got caught because Thomas Robinson, nicknamed T-Rob, tipped off police by accepting drug money over Venmo using his own name. In any event, sounds like they were in school and working full-time. And who said kids are lazy these days? All right, Paul, what do you think of this? T-Rob's dad, so T-Rob, his dad, Paul Robinson, was also charged with concealing evidence like drugs and cash, probably to protect his son. How big was this operation? What do you think?
You know, big-ish.
Okay. You know, you've seen bigger.
Well, I mean, like, you know, $50,000 in the drug game is not a whole ton of money, but these guys aren't exactly the Sinaloa cartel. Like you said, you know, T-Rob is his name on Venmo. They're spreading the stuff all over the place, and one of these knuckleheads literally videotaped the bagging of the coke by the pledges on his phone. Again, you know, a little bit of evidence, but all I can say is this. Wait till they get, because, you know, the one guy, he seems pretty arrogant. He's the kid that the father was involved. The father's a lawyer, by the way, and he's smiling in the mugshot, very conky. You know, he forgets something. Pennsylvania State Prison, you know what feeds Pennsylvania State Prison? Philadelphia. Wait till he gets to Pennsylvania State Prison, which is likely where he's going as one of the principals. Here, there he is. He's smiling away, right? Wait till he gets in there and he says, hey, guys, I'm Sigma by Sigma, by the way. That's my fraternity. What's yours? And they say, Aryan Nations. Okay, and by the way, our initiation, it isn't a 2-hour game of beer pong. All right, it's going to be significantly different. I don't think he'll be smiling after that.
Ooh. Wow. Ooh.
Mackie, the kid with the glasses, Augustino, he was running the show. He was an accounting member who made the dean's list 3 times. People are calling him Pablo Pledge Kabar. You went to Penn State.
I did.
What do you think about all this?
You know, I'm not surprised. It's a massive party school. I've heard secondhand from another number of other people that people in college enjoy drugs. But it is refreshing as a Penn State alum. This is the best giant national media scandal we've had ever. I hated the frats when I was in school. I mean, even though I was always called an alpha male, I actually hated that. That was a Greek alphabet joke. You missed it. But I hated the frats. I mean, who has a party and doesn't serve pastries? But the worst part is, it's like these are vulnerable young adults. They're away from home for the first time of their life. And then they make them do these stupid things to get acceptance and get friends. And I don't understand why colleges have any affiliation with them whatsoever. You know, it's not like 100 years ago where you went away to school and you didn't see or talk to your parents for months or years at a time. It just, it seems to me like this should go the way of the dodo.
Ooh. I'm going to read this question someone wrote for Dana.
Okay.
Dana, when police raided the frat, T-Rob thought it was a prank. He was tasered, and in his dorm room they found coke, weed, amphetamine pills, and a handgun. Did your dorm room look like that?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the University of Southern Colorado was a real party school. Now I'm starting to realize why my dad didn't take me to visit any other schools. He was like, no, this is where you'll be going. I should be glad for that. We didn't even have fraternities at my school, and so it's a little bit Greek to me.
Oh.
Wow, I'm really firing on all cylinders tonight. I feel like there's a little bit of a double standard happening here. One, the story is kind of interesting, but imagine if these were not white kids that look like the Revenge of the Nerds, right? We would be maybe having a very different conversation. And if they were illegal or they were dreamers, they'd be in Sierra Leone by tomorrow morning. And so one thing I think that should happen to all these guys and all the parents out there who are dropping off their kids this weekend is to say, if you want to end up with your life ruined, destroy your family, go to one of these frat parties and do this. I think just punishment for all of them, in addition to having to go to jail, would be to let those pledges that were made to do all of this have at them. Little Hunger Games.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
DeVito, and also think of all the poor kids that are now going to Penn State that don't know where they're going to get their cocaine.
Cut off. Cut off.
They're like, I thought I was going to Penn State to party.
Yeah.
And now what am I going to do?
You know, you people act like you never heard of being an entrepreneur. That it's about time that hardworking Americans took back the jobs that have been going to immigrants for all these years. And distributing our drugs. And I'm so glad. We're not paying for their student loans, are they? 'Cause
No.
They were bringing in a lot of money with this stuff. But
Yeah.
we didn't have any of this when I was in college, which is good because I've never been good with the metric system. And it would have been tough to figure out those baggies. But I think we do have to give a little bit of credit. Here are some of the names of the people in the fraternity who got busted. Caden, Connor, Kyle, Liam, Lars, and Mohammed. So I don't think there's any other group on campus that has that kind of diversity. And you know they didn't DEI their way in because no one moves ahead as a coke dealer by DEI. You either have the coke or you don't. So
You're right about that. Well, you're right about that. Cocaine dealing is a true meritocracy.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.